Back with mustard flats.
What's your favourite smell on tour?
That's probably the best question we've had today. What is your favourite smell on tour?
After you asked me to join the band, I got added to the group chat, and the immediate conversation beforehand was discussing which guitarist they should join the band.
Oh.
And I was just like, what sort of power play is this? I was just like,
God, I don't know if I knew that. The goal of starting the Buoys was because there weren't really any women playing on stage where I grew up. And I had tried to join a few bands, and it was just always really awkward. Like, it just never happened, and I felt like I was trying to infiltrate a boys club.
what is happening right now? It's always fucking gone rogue.
Oh, hello. Okay, is that coming through?
You hearing me good?
Yeah, we're back with Mustard Flats. Thanks for everyone tuning in and listening. We've got the boys.
What up?
Hi.
Thanks so much for coming,
Hello.
guys.
Thanks, Gaga.
How was your set? How did
So
it go?
good.
That was so much fun.
I felt like we went straight in there. I didn't realize when we were getting ready that it was like go time. So it was
Yeah.
just like
Like it was like you were straight on
run.
kind of thing? Because you
Yeah.
guys drove
I just didn't pay attention to the time at all.
We'd actually been chilling here for a couple of hours, but
Literally.
we were just so into the sets. Like, Lucy Sugarman was amazing.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
then suddenly it was
yeah.
like, oh, we've got to go on stage. Oh, fuck. Like, we hadn't, sorry, I don't know if we're allowed to swear, but anyway, we were just like,
Yeah,
oh, okay,
yeah.
we've got to be prepared.
Also, heaps of our friends are here, so it's like quite distracting.
So like
because you're-
social, because you're
well,
like chatting.
Yeah, like we're good friends with like Mayor and teenage dads, and so you get distracted chatting and catching up, and then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, like head in the
Go play
game.
set.
Head in the game.
I blame teenage dads because we were playing Mario Kart and they were absolutely annihilating me. And then I was like, oh crap, we've got to be on stage now.
They were playing Mario Kart here.
Yeah, there's
Love
a
it.
games room.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
Backstage?
Yeah,
I
like
have-
just over there.
I haven't been in there. My God.
Oh, everything you could ever want and need.
That makes sense because someone else was saying, I'm going to go play Mario Kart or
Yeah.
something. And I didn't, yeah, that makes
It's my
sense.
dream.
That's a euphemism for something.
Maybe. No, that
for a
makes
nap,
sense.
you know?
Yeah, on the bean bags. Yeah, so was the set good? How's like the energy out there?
Amazing.
Oh, it was so much fun. Like,
Oh.
Canberra crowds is like super joyful, and I think they're really generous. Like, they're really ready to have a good time. So we then have an even better time kind of as a result of that. Like, it was
Yeah.
just-
Oh,
Yeah.
can we show you this really cute photo that my cousin took in the crowd?
Oh,
So
yeah. I did hear you talking about,
It's so cute. There's a song that is like super sad, and I told everyone to hold your friends. And these two guys watched our whole set.
oh,
Like this.
that's
Which
so
camera
cute.
should I show it
Maybe
to?
hold it to that one.
Look at that cuteness.
That's so
How,
cute.
how sweet is that?
That's what love is, y'all.
Isn't it? And I saw them. I can recognize them from the back because they were singing all the words to all our songs. It was very cool.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
That would have just like made their day to see you guys.
It's also really beautiful because of this really nice light out there, but we could see everyone's faces, so you can see people singing along or like smiling or getting a bit teary, and it's so
Yeah.
nice to actually see people interacting with your music and responding like that.
Yeah, and like the crowd's really nice. Like everyone's really far. Like, you know, it's everyone's very close to the stage, and it's really like there's like that connection.
The other thing I will say is that they're very good at clapping. Like, they
Yeah.
did this
Oh.
really
Actually in
fast
time.
double time clap.
like
Like, yeah. I was like, whoa, Canberra has rhythm. It is like, I was like really into it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Most
Yeah.
of the time when there's when the crowd starts clapping, like they're just so out of time, and I have to be like block it
Yes.
out, block it out, block it out.
But
Just
not
like,
Canberra.
Yes,
But
I was-
this was amazing, Canberra. You should all be drummers.
the percussion. Yeah, everyone's on percussion. Everyone's got it.
Yeah, egg shakers, we just like hand them out before each set or something.
So you guys drove down from Sydney today?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're driving back afterwards.
We are because we've got another show
Big day.
tomorrow.
Oh, really? Where's that
yeah,
one?
at Enmore Theatre.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, with middle kids, sunscreen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it'll
a
be
bunch
awesome.
of my friends just went to Middle Kids here. Might have been
Oh.
two weekends ago.
We've like not like we've played with them at a festival once, but this is like our first time doing like a non-festival, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, me
I don't-
too.
That's so good.
Especially after their like a version on Friday, they did Oasis Champagne Supernova. Yeah, and it was so amazing. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's well timed that we now get to play a gig with them.
That's really. I haven't watched the Leica version yet, but I'm excited.
Great.
And I couldn't come to the gig because I think I was like working or I was doing something. but everyone said it was like they were so amazing here, and yeah, like I really want to see Metal Kids. I love them. So that was tomorrow night that you guys are playing.
Yeah.
That's so good. That's so exciting. And do you, so like traveling around, do you guys always drive together?
Well, for example, next weekend we're playing in Brisbane and we'll be flying together, if that's what you
Oh,
mean.
yeah.
If the question was regarding modes of transport.
We still get on relatively well, so we haven't yet had to take private jets.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
But you
That's for
know,
later.
things get pretty tense, and like some people stink. So
I need my own space.
Some people.
Yeah. It's like office rules. So like people don't bring like tuna and rice into the main
Yes.
room and stuff like
You're
that.
the tuna microwave. You are the tuna microwave. I'm the fried chicken.
no. What about the kebab next to the bed? So we
Many people would rejoice to the smell of a kebab.
Yeah, it's a good smell. Like maybe if you're like hungover, like I don't know, maybe it depends.
Well, to be fair, you did come back and I was, naked credling my kebab. And we
Don't
have
look
to
at me
always
in my kebab.
share rooms, so the whole room did reek of onion. It wasn't the best. What's your favourite smell on tour?
That's probably the best question we've had today. What is your favorite smell on tour?
it's definitely not the bread.
Anything to do with McDonald's?
It's definitely not the corn in the Virgin Lounge.
The what? Corn.
There was like 6 to 12 months where the Virgin Lounge only made corn, like food with like heaps of corn in it.
Oh god.
Otherwise,
Which
it's also
doesn't make for a good flight. Everyone's like,
No.
and beans, there's always corn
Glen
and
20
beans.
on a
Oh my
microphone.
god.
Lots
Why
of
are they
fighting.
doing this?
Yeah, Glen 20 on a microphone, also very pungent. I would
Yeah.
say.
Oh my. I actually know that
Yeah.
smell. Ugh.
Also, I feel like there's a few of us that don't mind a mesh top, and mesh is really
yeah,
stinky.
yeah.
I
It's
was
stinky.
okay. I was going to wear like a high neck long sleeve mesh top to this because
Oh,
it looked
yeah,
great.
you'd
But I was
stink.
like, it was so hot earlier today. Everyone that sat down has been like, I'm really sweaty. Like I'm really sweaty. not you guys, but it's just like it's actually quite nice and cool now. But earlier today, really humid and
Yeah.
yeah. So I had to say no to the mesh. I had to say no to the mesh, unfortunately.
There'll be a more suitable day for you to whip that
A
out.
cooler day. Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah. Next winter. It's in the
I
cupboard
reckon this
until
one
then.
would look pretty good in some mesh. What about like a high-necked black mesh singlet?
Oh yeah, I see
Ooh,
that.
on the Swan.
With
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Okay,
With a white pearl
I-
necklace.
A white pearl necklace.
Yeah.
I one
and
time.
an earring.
That's really. Oh, the earring might have to be like a clip on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, can't go
definitely.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like a drawer on.
I
We
keep
try and put earrings on it and deflate.
not this one. I keep going to call it Siobhan because one time I had one of these and it was called
Siobhan this
Siobhan
one?
Zishvan. It's really hard to say, but like they are called Siobhan to me now. Like I'm like,
I mean, that
it's
is such a
Siobhan.
smart name.
Yeah, Siobhan the Swan.
She's very beautiful, very comfortable, and I'd like to spend the rest of my life with her.
You look quite. Yeah, you look quite nice.
You heard it here first. Courtney is actually staying in Canberra with Siobhan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's
boys are now
Courtney and Siobhan,
into
nice.
state band.
Yeah, a bit of quiet time later.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
Get a hotel with Siobhan.
You just see me later at like 11 o'clock, just like in my car with a giant swan on the back. Yeah, sick. Come on, babe, let's go.
On the roof racks.
babe.
I
Yeah.
think she'd really like that. I think she'd really flourish on the roof racks back to Sydney.
Yeah, well, you got the Sydney Swans, so it all works out. You know.
True.
Just you and me, babe.
I don't know if this is in the shot, but it's really.
Oh, is Courtney like invisible right now?
There's just like a voice
That'd be
coming
very
from
funny.
nowhere.
Voice from above, like God.
I mean, Courtney kind of is a bit like God.
Yeah. If there was one of us that was God in this band, it would probably be Courtney.
Yeah, I see that.
If one of us was what?
God.
God in this band.
God.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah. That charisma. She's like the Pied Piper on stage.
You're all just like migrating over there.
Literally, yesterday we played a set in Sydney for South by Southwest, and I like was a big stage, and I like just ran. I felt compelled to like run towards Courtney. We were like literally 5 seconds into our first song, and I ran so far towards
Oh.
her that I pulled out my entire guitar.
It was so funny.
You're like, this has to
And I was
happen.
like, I don't know if this is very rock and roll. I had to like do this like little
Oh,
run
no,
back
goes,
of shame
"Oh,
to like.
I think it probably brought the energy. I think it was good that it happened.
Yeah.
She was very excited. I saw you sprint over like it was 100 meters, and then I just see the cable just go bloop, and you were like, oh fuck.
Yeah, not only was I not Usain Bolt, I also had no sound. It's like, oh, shit.
Has anyone ever done a stage dive? Because I was talking about this with someone.
That's my department.
Wow.
I'm a bit sketchy sometimes. If I feel the energy from people
Yep.
and it's fitting so that I won't clip my legs, I will stage dive.
You're like, they'll catch me.
But
are
usually,
they there? Are
yeah,
they're
they've always
ready?
been there.
Except the one time we were on tour with DZ Death Rays in Albury, I watched Courtney disappear into the crowd, and I'm waiting a long time for her to
Emerge.
emerge. She
Come back, Courtney.
emerges, I kid you not, a whole footprint on her chest, and you could tell they were wearing Converse.
Oh
It
my
wasn't even
god.
Converse.
It was Docs.
It was a Doc Marten boot.
That's
Just
such a
pinned
unique.
right
Yeah,
across
you
here.
can tell that.
I didn't even feel it. That's the best part. I didn't feel a
I've
thing.
been stepped on. I
just
didn't even know.
fell. God took me and it was all good.
Yeah, but you were safe. Like God was like,
You
you're
are
safe.
God.
You
Oh yeah, you
sailed-
took yourself.
Oh, it's like,
Yeah.
kind of like how there's.
to be reborn.
Yeah.
He was sailing
the,
like a swan across that
Dante's,
audience.
like,
Not
levels.
quite
Yeah,
though.
Inferno. Wait, is that what you were saying?
God, I
Yeah,
have
Dante Alighieri.
Yeah, Dante, Inferno,
Well, we
Purgatory.
talked about farts, but now we're talking about Dante. You know, it's high culture, low culture.
No one was talking about farts.
Yeah, we were
where
talking
your mind
about
went?
when we talked about the corn earlier. That was a
Yeah, the
throwback.
beans.
I
the
wasn't
beans.
referring to.
No,
to
so
farts.
he literally went into the mic. Yeah. Trying to gaslight me on the pod.
Gaslight you.
We can rewind the tape and we'll hear that, that you did that.
Yeah. Show the
I'm here all
receipts.
day. I got all the puns.
I specifically remember it because I was picturing that on a plane and I was like, oh no.
But what psycho gives hundreds of people beans and corn
With one
before they're
toilet.
about to get on a flight with one toilet?
One
They
mini
hate
toilet.
us.
Virgin and masochists.
And that's an exclusive here on the podcast. Right? Virgin, do better. Cut it with the beans.
Well, they
we
cut
don't
him
want
out.
them
They
anymore.
ended up cutting him out. I reckon enough
there was an
people
issue probably.
Tooting around Australia, but they were like, maybe we're going to change the menu.
Yeah, that's CO2 levels.
Big red car. We'll fight here and we'll fight over there.
Knew the boys
I
song.
promise we don't fight that much.
No, it couldn't have been you guys.
We
It
fight
was
a
everyone else.
regular amount,
It's just
okay?
regular.
Like,
Just a normal amount. It's really a normal amount.
They have good fiber, good diets.
no Metamucil needed here.
Yeah.
I was going to say about the stage dive thing.
Yeah.
I saw Ballpark Music at ANU. I was like, was it here? At ANU years ago. And Sam, I think is the singer, he did
Yeah.
a stage dive and no, it was just me. No one else was there. I just pulled out some like strength, I don't know where from, and I just like held his butt up. And like everyone else, including my friend, just like kind of
Because
pulled back.
he a lanky dude.
I'm
So it's like that
I'm
was
imagining-
gnarly.
He wasn't heavy, but it was the sort of balance
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah.
And I was like, but because I'm a fan, I was like, that's fine. I'm happy to do that.
It could have been like a real Dirty Dancing
Yeah.
moment. Can you imagine he leaps out and you just hold him and then spin him?
While he's like singing.
Except it's like, it's nice to be alive or something.
Yeah.
It's nice to be alive.
Once you commit to it, it's like you just have to grab each and every person's hand and go, do not let go, because otherwise this ship is
Going
it's the
down, like,
Titanic,
literally going
baby,
down.
Where we're off.
And yeah, I don't
gone.
know. I sort of avoided eye contact with him after that because I was like, I've grabbed
Nah,
you
Sam thought- Sam-
in
Sam-
places. I
Sam's a
haven't
good
grabbed
boy.
anyone.
We love our Sammy boys. Good boy. We love ballpark music very much.
And I'm glad I could get him back to the stage. And like, to be fair, my friend is quite small, so she couldn't have really done that much. But
That's a huge
And it was a-
coordination.
it was
I would
a
like
big
to
crowd.
say that sounds like it's on Sam. Why did he pick? Like, I think the whole thing about being in front of the crowd is you're like, all right, where are the like?
Where's the spot?
Real. I mean, he must have thought you looked really strong.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I look like I have biggish arms.
Hell
Not
yeah,
muscle
look at
wise.
those guns.
Not muscle wise, but they're not lanky little arms. But I'm not strong at all. Like
You
it-
look strong. I would crowd
It
dive
was
on you.
it was one of those like a mum lifting a car off their baby, like you know how that's like that
Yes.
super strength that comes out. I was like, Sam's my baby. Yeah, but I think it was a really big crowd. Like I'm sure he chose a fine spot, but anyway, it's like I always, I'll always remember it. Maybe one day I'll see him and
You should definitely bring that up with him
if I ever meet him, I'll be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so, and he'll be like, oh, I know you. I remember that.
I'm really sorry. I do apologize. Yeah.
So yeah, South by Southwest yesterday.
Yeah. And the day
actually, it
before.
was Thursday, Friday,
And then we're back
today
tomorrow.
is Saturday, and then tomorrow is Sunday, playing those 3 nights.
Yeah.
So 4 shows in a row.
Wow. How was that? How was the Thursday, Friday?
Oh my gosh, so good. We got to play with Courtney Act yesterday. And it nearly didn't happen, which was really sad
Oh.
because I was most out of this week most looking forward to singing some songs with Courtney Act, and because the sound system overheated twice, but it worked out in the end.
Was that
was yesterday? At
Was that just because it was a warm
It was really
day?
hot yesterday
Yeah,
and
okay.
really humid, like ridiculously humid. So that was probably my highlight.
It's been pretty amazing. Just in terms of meeting some overseas bands. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had a really great South by experience, but there's this amazing 3-piece all-female Indonesian fucking rock band called Voice of Bass Prot, who we are just such big fans of now. But we also saw there was a Chinese post-punk band
Yeah,
who were
that's it.
playing, and
Berlin Psycho Nurses.
oh, yeah.
That was their name.
You say it?
Berlin Psycho Nurse.
Berlin Psycho Nurse. Wow.
Yeah, so cool.
So that was the Indonesian 3-piece.
No, that's
Oh,
Voice of Bass Prot.
Okay.
Yeah.
We want to go
Anyway,
to
so
Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially after meeting these bands. Would love to. Yeah.
Yeah. And what else was I going to ask? I guess, well, I was thinking about just like the all-female band. Well, firstly, I don't actually know where the name comes from. Like, how did you choose the name?
It was the goal of starting the Buoys was because there weren't really any women playing on stage where I grew up, and I had tried to join a few bands, and it was just always really awkward. Like, it just never happened, and I felt like I was trying to infiltrate a boys club.
Yeah.
And it really was. I was always like, there was these house parties that I used to love going to, and there'd always be like a live band, and everyone would take turns playing, but it was always the girls sitting on the side watching the
Yes.
boys play, like very puberty blues. We watched them surf, we watched
Yeah.
them play. And I just was like, fuck it, I have to start my own band. And because I felt like I was infiltrating this boys club, I decided to call it the Buoys. But I was doing this over the phone with the guy who was making the poster for my first gig.
Yeah.
And he thought I meant B-U-O-Y-S. I really intended it to be boys, like
That's so
B-O-Y-S.
funny.
And I rocked up and saw the poster, and I was like, I'm taking that.
That's really funny.
Yeah, and he's
Was
a
his
smart
brain
lad.
just like,
Oh, he's just a very smart, creative guy. He pushed me heaps in those early days. Like, he's the one who lent me like his tape machine to record our first EP. He like was like, all right, cool, you've got 4 songs, you're ready to play your first gig next week, and like we'd only been jamming for like a week. Like,
wow. Yeah.
he was a good friend in those early times, helping me because I was so scared.
Yeah.
It was
But I
scary
love that you like
infiltrating a
pushed
boys'
through
club.
for the, like, for the sake of it, like for the message. You're like, I need like.
And I'm so happy I did, because at the same time, Ruby Fields was doing the same thing. So we were both from Cronulla. And we look back on it now and like laugh that we were ever so scared, because
Yeah.
now we're just loving it.
But like, if you were, but it makes sense if you're in that environment and you're just like, I'm not fully welcome, even if it's like no one's actually doing anything on purpose, but
You
you're
just
just
don't
like,
see
I'm
yourself
not.
represented anywhere.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, obviously, like, why would I go and do something? And it was going into the city and seeing other women play. Like, I remember watching Body Type for the first time. They're still, to this day, one of my favorite bands. And it was watching them that I was like, oh, an all-woman band. Okay, so it's like doable. I guess I'll do it then.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the representation thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fuck, so glad I did, because then I got to meet these hooligans.
And we got to meet you.
My life is. I'm gonna cry. I love these bitches.
I love being a bit of a bitch.
I love you, bitch.
I love you, bitch.
So how did you all kind of come into it then?
Well, I was playing drums for a week, and then I was living in a house of musicians, so I lived with this awesome band called Flower Truck, and they made music really accessible. And so I was like, I'm gonna play the drums. I learnt when I was a kid, bought a drum kit. A week later, my housemate slash cousin went on a date with Zoe, a Tinder date, and she was like, oh, I need a drummer. And he was like, oh, my housemate's a drummer. As of like a week. And we met and we bonded because we're both scientists. And Zoe was like, so yeah, can you play drums? And I was like, yes.
You're like,
I'm just going to work out how to do it.
we both conned each other because I didn't know you'd only been playing for a week. So I was like, do you play drums? You were like, yes. And I was like, do you want to jam one time? And then I was like, hey, so this show offer came through. Like, would you like to do it? Little did Tess know I had already booked the show.
So you're like, so we are
prior.
doing it. Like it's as a question, but it's actually we're doing the show.
Actually, we're doing it because I had booked that show as a way to force me to
we were talking about this
find new
earlier on
band
the pod,
members.
like just being forced, just like
the
going
pressure
forward with
of
it.
a deadline.
Yes.
Because the thing is that so many people just, I mean, I think especially females just don't think they're good enough, or it's like, oh yeah, I'll join a band or I'll do a show once I've mastered these chords on guitar, or once I can do this hectic drum fill. But actually, you don't.
just do it.
You just do it, and you work it out as you go along, and you practice. Like I just practiced heaps for this gig, and then we did it as a two-piece. It was
really cute.
and then we got a
We also
lead
sort of conned
guitarist.
Courtney into the band as well because Courtney used to fill in on bass because our bassist was a sick bloody. How do you say, top dog in the arts world, so was always super busy.
Yeah.
And so Courtney was always filling in, and then eventually we were just like, so like you're in the band, right? Because our bassist ended up moving to Melbourne for that job.
Yeah.
And Courtney was in like, what, 5 other bands at the time?
Yeah, I was a busy beaver. I was playing drums in 2 bands, guitar in another band.
Oh my
and then I was
gosh.
filling in a few times, and I was like, oh, I've filled in quite a lot. What's going on here? And,
Let's make it official.
and then I remember like you messaged me and you're just like, oh, so by the way, do you want to like be the bassist in our band? And I was like, for fuck's sake. Like I can't be in like a 5th band. There's no way. And
But you
I
could.
somehow got conned into it, and yeah, here we are.
And
That's
then
so
Because
good.
of these puppy dog eyes.
And then with
You're like,
Hillary,
"Please."
we had a lead guitarist who we loved, and she went on to do a PhD and do some
Travel the
amazing
world.
things, yeah. And so we're like, okay, let's do some auditions.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
so-
Very official.
Yeah, and a friend of ours recommended Hill, and so I think you were one of, I don't know, how maybe we auditioned like a handful of people.
5 others.
Yeah, and like, I mean, Hill was just obviously
The one.
I mean, I think
Easily.
we sort of knew that she had the job before she came.
Wow.
It was actually very intimidating.
Yeah.
Because we rocked up to Zoe's house for the audition, and each member was sitting in a different, including the old guitarist was there, sitting in a different corner of the room, and you all introduced yourselves, and I was like kind of in the center, like spinning around. And I was like, oh, I'm just never gonna learn anyone's name. That's just how it's gonna be. Like, it's never going forward. I will never know anyone's name.
And you still don't. You're still like,
Yeah.
who are these
Yeah,
guys?
yeah. That's why I was like, hey,
So they
yeah.
call me babe.
Yeah.
Just pet names. Oh, that's so good.
But yeah, no, it was good. It was yeah. Yeah, you guys staunched me a little bit because when after you asked me to join the band, I got added to the group chat, and the immediate conversation beforehand was discussing which guitarist they should join the band.
Oh.
And I was just like, what sort of power play is this? I was just like,
God, I don't know if I knew that.
yeah. I was like, man, what is going on here? Like, am I meant to be like, okay, well, I could be out of my, out of this band at any moment. Like, I was like, what is going on?
Because I remember being like, yeah, everyone was great, but Hillary had the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
From the
it's
get-go.
more than just skills. It's
Exactly,
like
it was
the
the
vibe
vibe.
and who are we going to be friends
Yeah,
with? Like,
and like
let's
the-
pick the 4th best friend.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, that's
But you rocked up in double denim.
Yeah.
I was so hungover, and I was like basically late on the couch because we'd had a really long party the night before, and we're like, yeah, we'll just do the auditions today, like it'll be great. And you walked in, and I was just like,
double
double
denim.
denim, fucking just start playing, mate.
Yeah,
You'll be
orange
fine, you'll be
TK
fine.
shirt.
It just
Yeah.
Orange.
Yes.
What was it?
TK
was very
Maestro
good.
Oh,
shirt.
love.
And
You were
the
flexing.
questions that we asked for her interview were, are you a bigot? And can you scull a beer? Which is funny because we've never sculled a beer. We
Ever.
just wanted to
So-
see what she said.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter either way, but
No,
it's
it
like
was
as
just
long as you're
like-
honest.
No, because that was Anthea asking the question.
Oh,
so this is
yeah.
our previous guitarist. And
Yeah.
Anthea's main concern was like, you know, this person who replaces me needs to be able to fill my shoes, which means they need to be able to scull a beer.
But I was like, what is this band? They've been partying. It's 10 a.m. in the morning, and
We hadn't
the old
slept,
guitarist is
yeah.
eating a Yotam Ottolenghi eggplant salad with like pomegranates
that's
in front of me. And
bougie.
I'm like, where am I? Like, what is going on?
It's a mix of bougie but hungover.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's what after parties in the inner west of Sydney are like.
I've never been to one.
Pomegranate.
I think the greatest part of that though, because what we were doing for the auditions was like we'd sent them some of our songs to play, like a couple of songs.
Yeah.
And then there was another one where we were like, okay, well, like this song has a guitar solo in it, so just like vibe it.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's
I mean,
right.
like,
Didn't we all? Yeah, we gave you
Hills-
songs that were like, here's the ones to play,
Yeah.
and then we like surprised on the day, like, here's an instrumental section. What would you do with it?
Oh my god.
yeah,
Just,
and if anyone has
just
seen-
freestyle. Just freestyle.
Oh, and like that's Hill's forte. But the funny thing about it was like, obviously she was impressive when she did that, and then she joined the band. But then every time we played a gig, she would like rip out something an extra like level up of extraordinary, and so we would just be like, what the fuck, and stop playing.
Yeah,
or
we
beat the
essentially
fuck
drop
up.
our
Like,
instruments.
it was destroying, like
Distracting the
Yeah.
girls.
And it changed every time when we're like,
Yeah.
who is this individual? You are amazing.
yeah.
Please
You're
stay.
Because
Blushing.
It's because in rehearsal, Hillary would play like this,
Mm.
and then it was our first show, and like you've seen her play today, like, and so that was what the first show was like with Hill.
Just everything.
When we'd only ever seen her play like this, and then we get on stage and she goes,
Had you
And,
like
all
been
of
in a
us
band
fucked
before?
up. We stopped playing because we were like,
Yeah, I've been in bands, but I've never played lead guitar before in a band in that
Really?
way. Yeah. So I just grew up playing like lots of chords.
Yeah.
Like Jack Johnson, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but then you're like, this is my calling. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Well, actually, a friend of the band at the time, he came up to me and introduced himself. I had never met him, but Ricky, and he was like, "Oh, I think you're good at guitar because you don't move when you play." And I went,
Ah.
I gotta really like lean into this." And then I started moving. So I owe it all to Ricky, pretty much.
love Ricky.
Yeah.
so you were
Love
like,
you,
I have
Ricky.
to sort of move around.
Yeah.
around.
But what's really funny is like I've got terrible spatial awareness. Like I walk, like I misjudge
chord as
doorways, right? So like today on stage, like I was like tripping over my own chords, and it's like,
Oh my god, did you
just
see
like-
me? When I tried to take off my thingy
These are hard to take off.
It was
keep getting
tangled in my
tangled, yeah.
earbuds, so the whole time it was dangling between my legs. So it was like this.
On stage?
Yes, like this.
That's so funny.
The whole time. It was so embarrassing. Oh, silly.
For the rest of the set?
Yeah. Eventually I turned it into a thing, and I was like, okay, how can I make this
Yeah.
cool? And I started going like,
You were also on the ground and you were just like, and I was like, what is happening right now? Zoe's fucking gone rogue.
Wait, did you say you were on the ground?
I was on the ground going
Okay.
like this, and Zoe just looks at me. She just starts going. Yeah. I'm like, what is that in your hand? I'm like, that. I don't even know.
come hither.
I don't
That's
even-
what that means.
Yeah.
That was the yeah. Well, what was we
I was
saying
summoning my
before? Like the-
bitches.
yeah.
you know? Yeah, just like that.
Well, team, we might let you go. We know you got to fly back,
yeah, you
get back
gotta
to.
Yeah, we do.
Back
We're gonna
home.
be driving back to Sydney.
Oh, Siobhan.
Send me that podcast.
I
Yeah, I
love
will.
Siobhan so much.
I don't know if
This
this is still on.
isn't
I
your
was like, yeah,
swan,
yeah,
right?
I'll send
This
you
is
the
from.
podcast.
Siobhan's ours now.
Yeah, surely.
We can't go without Siobhan.
I kind of didn't know where she came from, but I forgot that the Stonefest logo is a swan, so that makes
Of
sense.
course. It's a massive vibe.
Okay. But thank you so much for
Good
joining
night.
the flats. Yeah,
Thanks
that was
so
awesome.
much.
So not. The OH&S